Hey everybody, coming to you with the end of week review, and spoke to a lot of people out across the district. Just talking about the top priority this week has been nonstop, making sure that we're doing every single thing in our power to assist our communities with the hurricane recovery efforts and everything that we had to do just prior to the hurricane. This included securing FEMA relief funding for our counties, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie counties, surveying the damage across the breadth of the state with the Coast Guard, getting from the Florida Keys all the way up to the Florida-Georgia line, visiting our local shelters and all the people that were getting out of their homes, seeking safety in those shelters, working to help to restore power, looking at flooding and everything else that we could look at throughout the breadth of our district. Before I get to all that, though, I do want to give a big thanks to the people that were out there getting the job done in the state of Florida. Governor Rick Scott did an absolutely incredible job for the state. Our local officials, our state officials, Sheriff Bradshaw, Sheriff Snyder, Sheriff Mascara, all of our police chiefs throughout the breadth of our counties, the officers that were out there, keeping the streets safe, making sure that there was no looting going on, making sure that the shelters were safe, all the people with FEMA, the Coast Guard, the South Florida Water Management District, the Army Corps, volunteers from the Red Cross, and all of the other partners that were out there working directly, with our office and other places over the last week to ensure that we were able to get up to the minute information, out to our community so that you could be aware of everything that was going on. The recovery process, it's going to be long, and we're far from done. And I know that there are still a lot of families that are without power, families that are traveling back from out of state, going through the insurance process and struggling to get by, each day. I often say that, my goals as representatives are to make sure that our community is safe and healthy and strong. So please know that I will continue to do every single thing that I can each day for every member of our community to get us back to full strength. And, it's been incredible the way this community has come together, to say the least. I don't think anybody can deny the way that everybody is just pooled together and been what a community really should be. Last week, Congress passed an emergency funding for FEMA to address the hurricanes, and this included about $7.5 billion for FEMA, about $7.5 billion for community development block grants, nearly $500 million for Small Business Administration, the disaster loan program, and I'm not going to stop fighting for the resources that we need to address this situation, not just in Florida and Texas, but we're still in the middle of hurricane season, and we don't necessarily know what is exactly around the corner. And so this is another one of those reasons it's such a top priority. And on the top of my priority list this week was getting disaster declarations for our counties so that they can tap into those resources. They have the best ability to tap into those resources. Even prior to the storm hitting, we were able to secure a federal disaster declaration for public assistance so that our local governments can get the federal assistance for debris removal and other recovery efforts that were going to be under place. Then we turned our focus to getting individual assistance declarations so that those in our community that need assistance can get the help from FEMA that they need. So throughout the week, we were able to secure declarations for all three of our counties. So whether you live in Martin County, St. Lucie County, or Palm Beach County, you are now able to apply for this assistance through FEMA, and small businesses in all three counties can also apply for assistance through the Small Business Administration. It's a really big thing, and I'm really happy that that was something that was able to be secured. If you want a little bit more information on that, you can go on our website, mast.house.gov, and it has all the information that you could need on these programs. That's a good source for that. One of the big things for getting this declaration was assessing the damage in our counties, and to that end, I'm very grateful to the Coast Guard for having me for that aerial view of the damage so that I can give a firsthand account to the different federal agencies and the other members of Congress here in Washington, and that has truly been the nonstop conversation since returning here to Washington just the other day with all of our representatives wanting a damage report. How do things look in my district? How do things look towards the north? How do things look on the west coast of Florida and down in the Keys? And so it was very important that I was able to get on that flight and be able to survey all that damage so that the people on other committees have the information that they need to move forward and hopefully be a part of working on this, this FEMA funding, making sure that states like ours have the resources that we need. It is an effort that has to be made across the breadth of this country. We flew through all three of our counties, Martin County, St. Lucie County, Palm Beach County, down to the Keys, up to Jacksonville, to see the damage along the rest of the East Coast. And what I can say about all that is this, is that, well, on the whole, our community escaped from some very major damage that other areas saw. There are some areas in our community that were very badly impacted by wind, by flooding. The damage is still being assessed, but if you're in need of assistance, please do not hesitate to call our office, and we will do all that we can to help you, to help work you, get you through that FEMA process. There are some other resources that you can use, but we will work with you to make sure that you can get the assistance that you need. For the Florida Emergency Management Hotline, you can call 800-342-3557. If you live in Martin County, you can call 772-287-1652 to have your questions answered, or you can visit the martin.florida.us/hurricane website for more information about power restoration and other hurricane-related information. There's a lot of that information in the other counties as well. If you live in Palm Beach County, the number for that is 561-712-6400, or you can go to their website, discover.pbcgov.org. And if you live in St. Lucie County, you can call 772-460-4357, or visit stlucieco.gov, so stlucieco.gov. So if you're in need of water, ice, food in Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, or Okeechobee counties, the Treasure Coast Food Bank is distributing those supplies. You can find their resource locator at stophunger.org. That's a great one. And if you want a complete list of resources, please visit my website, mass.house.gov. It's always got a lot of information on there about all of these things going on in our community. The Treasure Coast Food Bank and Volunteer Florida are also looking for volunteers to help. You can volunteer at stophunger.org, or you can volunteer at volunteerflorida.org. So please go to those sites if you feel calling to go out there and work through the community in that way. Throughout the weekend and the rest of the week, as I went from shelter to shelter and around our neighborhood and in the emergency management headquarters, it was amazing. It was amazing for anybody that got to witness that. Not only the different levels of government coming together, but the people of Florida coming together, helping their neighbors board up their homes, get their businesses boarding up, sharing fuel for their generators, making sure that everybody had enough fuel. And I think it would have warmed anybody's heart to see this, seeing the sense of resolve and the sense of community as I spoke with residents across these shelters who had to evacuate their homes, but still remained hopeful and acted generously and selflessly towards their neighbors, as they were in the shelters, helping their neighbors within the shelters get their beds, get their cots set up, help watch each other's children and things like that. It was incredible to see, and that's really what makes our community what it is. It's what makes our country great, and I was proud to see it play out the way that I've seen it played out. And it's something that I hope we never forget. It's something that I hope we never lose about this place. Another result of the storm has been increasing water levels in Lake Okeechobee. And this is something that I've been following very, very closely with the Army Corps of Engineers, the South Florida Water Management District. The lake is at about 15 feet. It's just a little bit over 15 feet right now, which is the level at which they need to start thinking about discharging water to keep the stability of the dike and prevent flooding that could literally kill thousands of people in the communities south of Lake Okeechobee. So they've let me know that they are planning to do another discharge of water to the east, and I'll be keeping close tabs on this to protect our communities and our interests as well. The Corps of Engineers and the South Florida Water Management District, they know for a fact that there is about 2 feet of water that would be coming down from the north and central and north Florida towards Lake Okeechobee, and so they're doing everything that they can to make sure that Lake Okeechobee doesn't end up over 17 feet of water. To that end, I want to quickly update you on some work that we were able to get done once I got back up to Washington. We did get the chance to pass some very important legislation in regards to the same end. As you may remember, in July, we were able to secure about $1 million to combat harmful algal blooms. And I said at the time that the fight wasn't over and that I would keep trying to secure more of that much needed support for our algal bloom prevention. This week, we were considering another appropriations bill, and I offered a series of amendments to combat harmful algal blooms in total. 9 of my amendments were included in the bill for a total of $21.6 million aimed at combating harmful algal blooms and studying the health impacts of that kind of crisis. This money will go towards cost-effective solutions to this problem that has really caused an incalculable amount of damage to our community, from health impacts to hurting local businesses, hurting our tourism industry, killing the real estate industry, animals. I'm very proud of the work that we've been able to get done in this area. Besides that, I'm going to be continuing to monitor the aftermath of Irma, make sure that everyone has the necessary resources. But for now, please continue to stay safe out there. Watch out for yourselves, watch out for your families, watch out for your neighbors, and know that you all are in my prayers. It is truly an honor to represent you in Congress, and that it couldn't be more evident than what I saw transpire in this last week. Again, just the way that I saw everybody come together, it made me so proud to be a representative of the people and in our area and this community and everything that goes on in it. The way that I get to come back here to Washington and tell everybody about the way that this community comes together. It's something that I think any other community could envy, the way that you all have handled yourselves throughout this storm. So in that, if there's anything that we can do to help, just give us a call, stop by our offices, let us know what we can do to be helpful or to help walk you through any part of the processes that are going on with FEMA, and I'll look forward to seeing you all around town.